Alright, hello everyone. We have finally made it all the way back to the quarterfinals of the TT Amulet tournament. And just like with the last one, we have me and Azalea here on comms for this match. Hello, Azalea.
Hello, Mr. Ponytail. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So yeah, this is quarterfinals. This is Kvess versus TarzanTheGreat. This is going to be a best of 3. First one to get to 2 wins will win the match. And the winner of this will actually be playing me in the semifinals. So,
Yes.
not only am I interested just to watch this match in general, I'm interested to see who I'm going to be going up against. Either one of these people will be a great competitor to go against. They've both shown their abilities in this category. So, either one of them will be a tough battle.
Absolutely. And it looks like we don't have to wait any further. The go sign has been given. As we go into sync, and gonna get to watch our 1 minute long cutscene. So this category, so this is the TT Amulet category. This was created a little over a year ago and was implemented onto the leaderboards within the last, I'd say, 6 to 8 months. With a whole bunch of other categories, and so the purpose of this category is for us to achieve the TT Amulet in the fastest way possible. And so these players are going to do that, starting with our overworld movement that you'll see in most 100% and every 100% run-in. Some other categories on top of it. So here we go.
First thing they're going to do is talk to Taj the elephant. He can switch our vehicle for us, and they're going to grab the plane. There's 4 of these balloons that are scattered in the overworld in the same spot every time. We need them to open up the doors to get access to more golden balloons.
Yes.
Got the one by the water here. Got the one behind the trees.
That one can be particularly tricky, but both players are doing a great job grabbing it.
Coming around the turn, the game lags a lot, so it's going to be really hard to get it correct.
Players
The one on the ledge.
Close.
And then the one in front of the Dino Domain door. Tarzan just a little bit better overworld.
Sub 140 for Tarzan, and I think Kvess got something like a 141. A little bit of the lag affected Kvess's line a little bit more. I thought he was almost going to bonk going into the tunnel. He had that so close to the wall, honestly. Into our first track, Fossil Canyon, we do the order of tracks a little bit differently to suit the routing for this category. Considering we don't do the boss door at all. So here we go.
So an important thing to note, the differences of these two players. They're both well-established time trial players. Tarzan, I believe at one point, was number 4 in the world for combined time trialing, and number 1 US time trialer for quite a while. Kvess was number 1 in the world for about 2 years, and his main specialty is the hovercraft, and then following closely after that is the car.
Yeah, it's very interesting because when Kvess came into the community, he was part of like the initial wave of like players coming in and just becoming monsters in the car. So Tarzan gets the cutscene skip. He had a little bit of difficulties on lap 3, actually ending up in the pond instead of hitting the zipper to go across the pond.
Yeah, they both had a pretty rough Fossil Canyon.
Yeah, but Kvess will be grabbing. But Kvess did not get the cutscene skip, which means he'll lose a little bit of time. I think it's only a couple of seconds in totality.
Yep. I've been doing a lot of research in DKR recently, and I found a more exact number for the time loss of missing one of the first 4 cutscene skips for instances like 100% or TT Amulet like this. Well, TT Amulet, if you miss one of the first 3, you get the same effect. It looks like they're both missing one, so you
Yes.
lose about 3.7 seconds. It's like 3
Okay.
seconds and 19 frames
Yeah, that
around
makes
there.
sense. I think that's what we've estimated a bit, is like
Yeah.
somewhere between 3 and 4 seconds. So it's
Yeah,
good to have the exact number.
I heard it was like around 2 seconds, but it's about 3.7 seconds is the actual
Oh,
time
okay.
loss of missing one of your first 3 or 4 cutscene skips, because you then get to skip the Fire Mountain Amulet piece presentation from Taj, but it's still faster to hit all your cutscene skips anyway. And then watch that cutscene in Fire Mountain completely.
Absolutely. Both players about to enter Jungle Falls. Kvess just slightly ahead now, with both players on even footing.
And Jungle Falls is probably one of Kvess's specialty tracks. He held the world records here in time trials for
Oh
quite a while.
no, a little bit
Tarzan
of a
taking a
rough.
drink. Oh
Yeah,
no.
a bit of a rough zipper, I assume there. It might have flung him not exactly how he wanted to be moving, which now leaves him about a full lap behind.
Yep.
But plenty of time.
So
Catches
it's
it
going to
by
be...
no means seals anything. So here,
I'm really not sure like who's the favorite in this, because while Kvess definitely
no.
has the upper hand when it comes to, individual tracks, which is his specialty, is time trialing with individual tracks.
Yeah.
Tarzan has the edge when it comes to just hundo related content because of how much any percent in ATR and hundo that he has played.
Yeah, for sure.
In between his time trial grinds.
Yeah.
Tarzan is really up there on the leaderboards.
Oh,
Oh no.
I guess Kvess wanted to do a different strat, and he ended up not going just for the guy that's gonna put their balloon in their thing. Oh, I see.
He is going
Missed
for
shot.
Trident strat.
A little bit of a different line to do it, but it works.
So there is an alternate way to complete the Fire Mountain strat.
Yeah.
Typically, what you'll see players do is grab a central egg for the first one, then steal a CPU's egg right after they place it down for the second, and then go back to the central nest for the third one. But looks like Kvess is having some trouble with the CPUs. They keep stealing his eggs. So
yeah, and Tarzan's went pretty perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Tarzan with the standard strategy.
Yeah, Kvess, not exactly. His strat, it looked weird. At least for me personally, it looked a little odd because he didn't have a double. Wasn't able to easily grab a double balloon.
Yes.
To defend his nest off the third one. But I saw Tarzan. I'm pretty sure. Like I looked and I think he did like the regular, the strat that most players are accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw him have the third shot with the CPU just going right towards the nest. So, tried and true strat kind of paid off. And that's, I think, the advantage you were kind of speaking to. Which now
we'll probably see Tarzan getting the edge in all the mini games, as that's content that I would assume Tarzan has more experience than Kvess in. But then when it comes to individual tracks, you'll probably see Kvess maybe consistently getting some better times. Mm-hmm. But for plane levels in particular, I could see them being kind of equally matched, as they're both around the same skill level when it comes to plane. But hover and car, Kvess does have the edge over Tarzan.
Yep, Tarzan getting the quit to menu. So here, notably on the final tracks of every single one of these worlds that we're going to see, these players will be quitting to menu. They will not be restarting, because that would give a larger cutscene. Kvess misses it.
And Kvess does miss it.
He does.
So now he has to watch not only this cutscene of Taj giving the balloon, but he also has to watch the door opening, which you cannot do anything once you are in this situation. You can't even pause. So once it's fully opened, then you can start to drive out back into the overworld.
Which is why we quit to menu here, because it's a little bit faster. Even though you're going to the beginning of the game's menu, you're actually just your menuing in general there is faster than the cutscenes. So a full car challenge difference between the two players now.
It's around 30-ish seconds.
Yeah.
But, it's still really early on. We still have about 20 minutes left in this first round.
Absolutely, yeah.
We still have, Dark Water Beach ahead of us. We still have Icicle Pyramid ahead of us. We have all of the plane levels. If they're going to go for Windmill Plains out of bounds at the very end to
True.
get some extra time save, anything could happen from here.
Yeah, and notably, we also have Dark Moon. Not Dark Moon, Dark Water Beach left to do.
Oh, yes.
Which, while every single mini game we have strats, we have manipulation strats for to have the CPUs act in a certain way. Dark Water Beaches is probably the most difficult to consistently achieve.
Yeah,
I
it's
would say
extremely inconsistent. Even if you watch someone like Trident Tail, probably the most consistent minigame player in the
Yeah.
community right now, I've never seen even him have a good amount of consistency on Dark Water Beach CPU pathing because they just go wherever they want.
Yeah, for sure. While Icicle Pyramid, I think we pretty much have down to a T the strat is, since the strat has been in the community forever. Oh, and also a fun thing, if you watch Kvess do Frosty Village, he does salt cure jumps every lap.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he does the salt cure time trial strat.
Yeah.
It's what he's most familiar with and comfortable with, probably for doing it for a couple of for the years now.
So you see him just drive up to that ledge, and then that's how he's getting over that weird slope. Instead of the kind of do this like left-right zigzaggy sort of motion, which kind of flings us up over the very top of the ledge there. Mm-hmm. The salt cure, invented by Mr. Ray Parsons, aka Salt Cured Fish, back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit faster if you get a really low and fast bounce over that road border. And it's the current time trial world record strategy. You can see they both missed the cutscene skip here, so they'll both, kind of be equally paced on that.
Yeah. Really good key grab. Movement afterwards, a little bit shaky, but a little bit of a wider line, but Tarzan's still fine here on Snowball. Oop.
Yeah, Snowball's giving him a bit of a trouble. There's a lot of very weird slopes on this level that can really mess with your movement. You kind of have to stay on the road, and you don't want to go too far off the road.
Nope. Track.
Of course, the key grab is also a really tricky section.
Yeah, for sure. Cutscene skip for Tarzan. Kvess gonna take a slightly different line to get to the key, and it does a good job just driving back to the road for lap 2.
Get a small wall grind there.
Yeah, that's something that's used very heavily in time trials for this track because there's no.
It's looking like a better Snowball Valley here for Kvess.
I think so. Yeah. I didn't catch Tarzan's time, but I think they might even out just because he missed the one zip. But I don't know.
All right, Icicle Pyramid here.
Yep.
We just drive up to the top level of this, and we camp this singular red balloon, grab some homing missiles, shoot the one CPU 3 times, and then after that, all the CPUs, if the luck is in our favor, they all just kind of converge on this one spot over there, and we can just shoot them all down.
Yep. Beautiful by Tarzan.
Incredibly fast.
Now let's watch Kvess do it. And the reason that we found that this is possible is because you're able to back your car up while in the ready, set, go part of the race. It's very interesting. And Giz is the inventor of this specific minigame strat, all the way back in the mid 2010s, I believe.
Ooh.
Oh no, the CPUs did not converge for Kvess, so now he has to go.
That is not good.
Hunt them down. Oh no.
And Tarzan's stream crashed for some reason. Oh no.
Oh yeah. So at least all the CPUs have kind of converged here, so he can kind of just camp this balloon.
He will be losing time, but that could have been a little bit worse. That's probably a 15-second time loss, maybe a little bit more.
So unfortunately, we've lost Tarzan's feed, but we'll get that up as soon as possible. For now, we'll watch.
Yeah, they're perfectly in sync down to the frame. It's incredible.
Yeah, for sure. Oop. Well, now there is only one screen because.
Yeah, the backup Being able to do non-throttling actions during the get ready go in minigames, that was found by a casual player, and then
It
that movement
was.
was then adopted by like Giz, and I believe Toful was maybe even had a hand in Icicle Pyramid
Probably.
Fast Strat as well.
I would guess they both did, yeah. As the two most prominent hundo runners, like
Yeah.
Icicle Pyramid definitely had to be a pretty big annoyance for 100% runners back in the day before that strat was found, because you really just kind of have to play Icicle Pyramid, and it's just kind of not, and it's not great if you don't really have like a fast way to do it. It really could probably bog things down. But yeah, we have Walrus Cove. We saw a little bit of hiccup in this section last lap for Kvess, but it seems like he's doing better now. Oh, we have Tarzan's feed. And Tarzan has completed Walrus Cove, it looks like. And he's on lap 2 of EP, of Everfrost Peak.
Yeah, Tarzan's probably going to be about a full minute ahead right now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, especially with the Icicle Pyramid hiccup, for sure. The lead just keeps growing and growing with these kind of bigger mistakes that Kvess is making. This is quite a rough Walrus Cove for what Kvess would want to actually see. Getting something in the high 120s for someone who probably wants a sub 120 Walrus Cove.
Yeah, it's just under a full minute lead here for Tarzan. He gets quit to menu.
Yeah, he gets quit
so
to
it's going
menu
to
on
put
a
some
1
more
minute.
pressure on Kvess. If he doesn't get this one, he'll go over 2 if he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
All right, now we have probably both of these players' favorite vehicle challenge, the hover challenge.
Oh!
Oh no, plane bonk.
He kind of front flipped, right? Instead of side flipping a regular barrel roll, he did a front flip right into the wall. Oh no.
Yeah.
And when that happens, that kind of throws off your entire rhythm in line on Everfrost Peak.
Yeah, losing your momentum in plane is pretty much like an automatic 6-second time loss, no matter where you are. It's terrible. So Tarzan, right now, the only mistake Tarzan can make is if he disqualifies in any of these 2 next vehicle challenges, which is a possibility based on the lines that he does take. He goes for very risky lines that like teeter on the edge of disqualification. This cut through the snow and the one by the the lap transition are both very risky, but they're marginally faster.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if Tarzan screen peeks to see the pace of his opponent. I don't think he was in the wildcard match from earlier in the week.
I don't think he typically does that.
No, he just kind of sticks to his strategy and just plays as well as he can, regardless of how their opponent is doing.
Definitely. I think like as someone who participated, like I never was checking to see where my opponents were in races. Especially because especially just because it helps me like just be in the zone versus like worrying about what strat do I have to do to maybe catch up or get or whatever. But regardless, we're seeing our first actual hover balloon race.
This one's like a complete opposite of hover challenge because you have these 2 really big boost chains that you can do.
Yeah, for sure. Little bit of hiccups on the boost movement with the positioning. There's a good boost right there, but he went right in between the balloon and the wall there. But yeah, good, decent second lap. Hopefully we get a super nice third lap. Nice. Looks like this should be somewhere like a 53. I would say. Nope, 52. And a cutscene.
Right.
Nice. Kvess also going to be entering this track now. Tarzan will enter the third site of our third key, which is Crescent Island.
I kind of wish it was a nice warm day today, but
Oh yeah.
unfortunately it is brutally cold
Well, it's
today.
so cold.
It's
Yeah.
about you know, like 0 Fahrenheit. That's like minus like 19 or 20 in Celsius
Oh, okay.
today. It
Where
is
I
probably
am.
one of the coldest days
Oh
so
wow.
far of the year.
Crazy. It is a chilly 1 degree Celsius,
Oh,
or just above freezing here where I
yep.
live. Ooh, some good movement. Some decent CI movement. Kvess Kvess finishing up his PL. I didn't catch his time.
About a 54, so about 2
Okay.
seconds slower than Tarzan's PL, and they both get
Gotcha.
the cutscene skip.
Yes. Right. I know both players here are pretty decent at this track.
Yeah.
Tarzan getting a lot of speed there, able to bounce off the wall without hard bonking. That was pretty nice. Oh no,
Oh, can you get
this
the
could lead
cutscene
to
skip?
a very tough cutscene skip here.
Uh,
Yeah, he
hey, there
got
it
it.
is. Just got to buffer
Right,
it,
got buff
8
through it.
times. It works every time.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't quite the 19 buffers
No.
or how much ever buffers it was on PL.
Yeah, as long as you get it, it definitely saves time, no matter how many buffers.
Yeah. Right. On to Whale Bay for Tarzan and Kvess's. Oh, that was a very interesting
Kvess got the
boost.
corner clip. You got a
Corner
lot of
clip.
air. I've not seen that much air in quite a while off of that.
I've never seen anything like that. I'm sure you've seen stuff like that over your time
Yeah,
playing.
I've seen that a few times, but that was a lot of height. That can happen
Yeah.
every once in a while. You have to get a really very specific angle into that.
Yeah, Kvess
Really
goes.
strong finish though.
Kvess really just. I like how he goes for he goes for like no slowdown on the CI. He's so used to that.
Yeah.
So it's like the strats that most of us would look at and just say, well, that's very risky. They are strats that he's comfortable with because he's done them so much. Even though they might be, quote unquote inconsistent, they work for Kvess. And unfortunately, oh no, Tarzan missing a Whale Bay cutscene skip. That's very difficult to buffer with the amount of frame drop. Although he was not in the middle of a boost, so it was probably it's easier than being in a boost
Yeah.
because your frames aren't quite as bad. Okay, Tarzan is opting to just camp.
Yep.
He might actually know his lead then, because I feel like he's tried to go for, he's at least tried to get like the first CPU with shots like this, with
Yep.
shots the way that you're used to in the strat, but he's just gonna go for camping, and he's doing a great job with grabbing balloons and firing them off.
There is actually quite a lot of skill involved in what Tarzan's doing right now. Just
my
being able
gosh,
to
I can't.
rotate around and being able to grab 2 balloons very, very quickly, and then just being able to do that
Yeah.
over and over again. It's
Yeah.
actually
Oh wow, and he got a CPU to run, and the CPU ran into a mine.
that's very lucky.
That's very fortunate. He absolutely had the
You see Kvess here going for the
he
quick
had the missile.
first. You can clear with single rockets. That's much faster.
Kvess
And
is
he's going to go for
full
the
launch.
oh,
He's
now he's going
camping.
to start camping from that one. So what you need to keep in mind is that sometimes the CPUs can actually, like in that one, that shot's going to be blocked, I think, by the archway. And that also one might get blocked.
I think
So you have to keep in mind where the CPUs are on the map if you're going to do some like really long distance homing rocket shots, because there are some things that could stop the rocket. So depending on where they are, you might want to change up where you're camping.
Yeah, but this has been really also fast for Kvess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he might save a little bit of time. He did have a few shots missed, but Tarzan didn't go for the fast first CPU clear. So maybe even, but Kvess might gain a few seconds there.
Yeah. Cause like Tarzan's, like it's kind of like what Patty said. It kind of looked like he was just like hyper camping. Like it was just so, so well done. His movement.
Tarzan's gonna go 3 for 3 on those quit to menus.
He does, and so now he's just got a few more things left to do. He will be completing Plane Challenge here. And then he will be doing one track between Greenwood Village and Windmill Plains in Dragon Forest, and then he will get the key and then go do the final mini game. Meanwhile, Kvess here is just going to finish up his final track in Sherbet.
Pretty rough start for Plane Challenge here.
Yeah.
But right now, the only thing Tarzan has to avoid is disqualifying on this, and then he will probably take the win. Unless he plays Windmill Plains and then voids out, then that's another way that he could lose 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I do wonder if he has maybe some sense of what's going on. Because he didn't maybe he just also isn't the most comfortable with the fast Darkwater strat yet. I'm not sure with like the movement currently.
Yeah, it is very awkward.
Yeah, it is, and he gets a brilliant.
Oh, Kvess gets a small bonk there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Bonk. He was able to get up to speed relatively quick, but so maybe not a full 6 seconds gone, but still, that's a major bonk. Tarzan with very nice movement to get into Dragon Forest. Sometimes the waterfall gives players trouble. Yeah, I have to think that bonk was like maybe only a couple of seconds lost for Kvess because he got a 22 lap still.
And we got some Greenwood Village here.
Yeah, Greenwood Village. Tarzan not going to worry about voiding out on Windmill Plains.
Unless you clip off the well and get a massive jump that flings you out of bounds, you could void out like that.
I guess you could void out like that, but even if you do that, I think you're so that like it wouldn't be that much time loss in comparison to voiding out on Windmill Plains, in my opinion. But both players getting a 58. Very good.
They both got 58.8s. Oh, they clipped off the well.
He did clip off the well. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much identical plane challenges there, so no difference. They both get into the tunnel there.
Yeah.
It's so hard to see the tunnel from the other side of the waterfall. A lot of people bonk into it as they try to get in there.
Yeah.
Double Greenwood Village here.
It makes sense for Kvess to do this. Kvess is a very good Greenwood Village player. He's a very good car player. You're going to see him not going out wide for the blue balloon, but he's probably going to take the inside line every single lap. We've seen a few players do that type of strat. We're not like I think for some players it might if they're just like good enough, it probably is decently faster.
Yeah, the balloon really can only save time if you get lagless with the balloon and you don't like lose too much speed grabbing it. But also going for the time trial movement lap 1 will prevent CPUs from using items on that spot on lap 2.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to do it, especially in trophy races or silver coins.
How did he not get hit by that? How did he not hit that? He didn't have a...
And here's the key grab.
And key grab.
And he gets a good key grab.
Yeah, good key grab.
That's pretty much like the last spot that Tarzan could have lost a lot of time on. You could just like get really unfortunate frame rates and just not be able to boost up there fast enough.
Yeah. Oh.
But Tarzan is going into Smoky Castle. This is the last race of the TT Amulet race here. But this is a best of 3. Tarzan will probably be taking the first round here.
Yes. Doing a good job towing the line there. He's actually much faster than that CPU, so he probably would never really have to worry much about the balloon. The
slightly
double red
key
that
grab.
CPU gets around the edge. Yep. Good, really good key grab from Kvess. And Tarzan just has one more cycle around with the bananas. Yeah. And then it'll be a GG. Oh, he a little too quick, but he also didn't quite have the car angle to grab it.
Pretty good first round here for Tarzan. He's playing about 20 seconds off of his PB there.
Yep.
So Tarzan will take the first game out of this best of 3 matchup here in the quarterfinals. And Kvess will be finishing here shortly.
Yeah, he's hasn't had a good start to his Smoky Castle so far. Oh, able to recover that very well. Just one more set of bananas, and he will also complete his race. Just going to be just under a minute difference. Going to be about 50 seconds difference. 29:15 versus 28:26.
Yeah, Tarzan will take the first round here, but don't go anywhere. We have at least a whole other TT Amulet to race through, but if Kvess does win this next one, then we'll go to a game 3 for the deciding match.
Yep. All right. Both players will be getting into game 2 pretty shortly.
Hey, look, that's the TT Amulet. That's like what we're all playing for. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get right into game 2 here.
Yeah.
If Tarzan wins this next one, then the match will be over, and he'll be moving on to the semifinals. So, Kvess really needs to tighten up here. He had quite a few major mistakes in his first game there. Missed 2 of the quit to menus. Had that really bad CPU RNG in Icicle Pyramid. Quite a few missed cutscene skips as well.
Love the country representation. We have Kvess with the Nordga and Tarzan with the USA initials. All right, I love it. We'll be getting into game 2 very shortly.
Countdown has started.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Awesome.
Game 2.
All right. One thing I find interesting about the best of 3 format, and this is kind of the case in most most other esport formats, when you have a best of form, when you have like a best of 3, best of 5, whatever, just to see how the players can shake off anything that went wrong, any major mistakes, how you're able to kind of push past them into the next game. How you're you have to kind of forget the previous race, even if you won. You can take the confidence going in, but you can't just say it's going to go great because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that kind of plays out in this game. But yeah. Both players gonna go. Hopefully, looks like we're gonna have 2 good overworlds here. I like
they go for opposite rotations there as they grab that balloon.
Yep.
Not really sure which one's the best. I always go counterclockwise now that I've realized it.
I move. My movement is similar to Kvess's. Wow, identical 139 entrances. Very nice.
There's also the hard part about commentating any matchup that's more than just a single game, one and done.
Yeah.
You just go through the motions once again, talking over the same stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta find different things to talk about this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't explain a whole lot about car mechanics, so you'll notice the players going but for the bananas, for those who aren't super familiar with DKR, bananas work similarly to Mario Kart coins. They The more bananas you get, up to 10 bananas, gives you a certain percentage of top speed and acceleration, and in DKR's case, it is about 2.5 per banana. We learned that not too many years ago. We kind of thought for a while it was just about 1%, and then we learned it was actually way more, and that put a bigger emphasis on bananas a lot of the time, because you're getting 25% extra top speed and acceleration. Wow.
Whoa, big jump. Oh, synced up perfectly.
Tarzan completely closed the gap
Yep.
with that canyon.
Yeah, sometimes if you can keep your speed just right, you can get these really big jumps out of the canyon. And it comes from the mechanic that we kind of discovered back in like 2020, 2021, actually, partly because of Kvess grinding car so much, called air tapping, which is if you press the A button just before you land in the car at any time, whether you're coming off of a boost or not, you can just kind of think of it as getting the wheels spinning before you hit the ground, and that lets you hold more speed as you land. And each one you do, I'm not really sure the exact amount of time, each one's a little bit different, but maybe around a tenth to maybe 0.15 or 0.2 for each one you do. And depending on if you're going to chain that into another boost, that can really just get your speed to a whole nother level on some tracks.
Yeah. This is going very similarly to the previous race. Kvess missing Ancient Lake cutscene skip. And we know that in this last race that Tarzan missed Jungle Falls, so they kind of synced up. Or no, one missed Fossil Canyon, one missed Ancient Lake, so similar-ish. But yeah, both we'll see if any cutscene skip miss happens here. Oh, Tarzan with a better first lap in Jungle Falls this race. He had a lot of issues on the previous one actually going into the water. So good to see that he has not done that this time, but he's having a couple other issues in that that pond clip. I kind of know how that works, but not exactly.
There's quite a few factors that go into your success of it. If you have to do any adjustments before you get to the pond, then you're going to reduce your speed, which means you might have a small deviation in your speed that you might get an extra frame in the air, and then you just get this really bad spacing.
Gotcha.
So you want to be going fast enough that way you only have, like the one frame of airtime to get the correct spacing as you approach that little ledge on the pond.
Definitely. So Tarzan with a small lead going into Fire Mountain. Let's see how this goes. Oh, nice. The CPU missing the egg gives Tarzan that egg. Kvess is going for the same strat this time. See if he can do it successfully. I think.
And the placement of the eggs in the nest is actually important.
It is, yeah.
Because the CPUs, they can, they're controlled by AI, obviously, but there's a specific spot that they're trying to get to on your nest, and there's some spots that
looks like
just based on, the handling, how tight you can turn.
No,
an egg got stolen again.
He was past the nest.
It looks like there's 2 eggs. Now there's all 3 eggs, so they're just being stolen. They're not going to respawn in the central nest right now. There can only be 3 eggs going around at one time, and now that Diddy's has finally been secured, now it respawns in the central nest.
Yeah.
So now he just has to protect his nest here, and then he'll be out of this.
There is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Happened back to back here. But yeah, the placement of the egg kind of matters. I have found through my practice of the minigame that the front edge tends to give me the best results for CPUs just missing it every time.
Yeah, I think the CPUs have a harder time hitting right on the edge, like landing right on the edge of the nest versus the middle of it. Yeah, that's kind of been my experience as well.
And that's another tricky part, is that there's a lot of, questions and answers that are up in the air when it comes to some of the more specific inner workings of DKR, because of the nature of this game, we can't really TAS it, through an emulator like BizHawk, because as soon as you play through emulator, the physics are going to change completely because you're going to have like a solid locked 30 FPS gameplay.
Yeah.
Whereas in DKR, we have a variable frame rate on console. It can range anywhere from 30 to 20 to 15 or 12, maybe even like 10 at times if it gets like horrendously bad. It is like, you know, a different amount of frames within the same second, because the game always runs 1 second per second, and it just chooses an amount of frame rate to work with based on how much stress there is.
Gotcha.
So all of the calculations will change as soon as the frame rate changes on a number of factors.
Kvess does get to quit the menu this time, so he's only a little bit behind in totality. Essentially just the length of having to play more of
Fire Mountain with the egg, and it's only at the end. Right
Yeah, it's a
before the
similar
end.
situation to game one here, about the same amount of time loss for Kvess,
Yeah.
but also similarly, there's still a lot of stuff coming up in the next 20 minutes here that could
Yeah.
swing it the other way for Kvess.
Mhm. Right.
You can see we haven't talked
Double-
about this yet. Finishing
sub
into the
30.
grass onto the Taj
Yeah.
map.
Yep.
The finish line extends all the way once you're on the final checkpoint, so you can just kind of finish wherever. And we need to switch to plane, so that's why we drive out to here, so we can instantly switch to the plane to go to Snowflake Mountain.
Yep.
You have to use plane to get into this this world. You can't use car or hover. Just can't get up into the door. Can't even get into the snow area with car. You can get into the snow area with hover, but you can't get into the door with hover.
Yeah.
I've tried.
Mm-hmm. If there's some way to launch yourself, you could, but
I've tried many things. It's
Yeah.
really close, but I haven't gotten it yet. It'd be really cool to do it.
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's done it yet.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know what type of I don't know how that would affect this, like when we first enter it anyways, obviously, because
It would probably be slower.
we'd be in car first, so we still have to switch. Oh no, Tarzan bonked off the front pillar.
Yeah, that's a tough cutscene skip.
which still
crosses the finish line.
Yep.
All right. So Kvess on lap 3 of Frosty Village. Tarzan starting Snowball. Let's see how his key grab goes here on lap 1. Or on lap 2, I should say.
They both miss it.
Oh, yeah.
So this would be a good time to talk about how finish lines work in relation to cutscene skipping, because you know what speedrunners are looking at for the cutscene skip is, you know, we're looking at the texture on the ground, like the checkered line, or if it's like here in Snowball Valley, it's just like a shadow.
Yeah.
And you know that's where the checkpoint for the actual finish line is placed, but they're not placed the exact same way.
Don't know why, but Mr. Ponytail has a document that shows. I think, is it every single one of them, or is it just? Yeah, I think it has to be all.
Yeah,
of them, right?
in all 20 tracks.
Yeah.
I could also add for like bosses and like
That
the
doesn't
vehicle
matter.
challenges, but those aren't really applicable. It is applicable now in the all bosses category, now that we changed the rules that we can cutscene skip in that. So could spend the time.
Gotcha. I didn't even know that there was cutscene skips and bosses. I won't lie. I have.
Yeah, the frame is there, but typically, you know, the progression is not on that frame, which is why it wasn't originally in the rules that you could cutscene skip. But then we just, you know, it's like it's an 8-minute category. Let's just do it anyway.
But an NG plus, but because it's an NG plus category anyway.
Yeah, you've already gotten the progression.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of issues for Tarzan here. He's
Yep.
he's
The
just
CPU
gonna have
did get
he's
away
just
from
gonna-
him, so he can
he's
grab a homing rocket and then drop down to the lower level
Yeah,
to
he
his
should
right.
know this. Oh no.
Oh, didn't go far
Yeah.
enough, but he should
Yeah,
be
but-
able to just clear him right here.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, down. Wait.
So this is going to give Kvess a chance to come back here if he can get a clean Icicle Pyramid.
Because,
Having to camp the CPU is pain.
Yeah. And having to find the CPUs is also now a pain.
Be very tricky. They'll run away from you.
Is he spam? I think, is he spamming? Yeah, yeah.
Look at that. And now Kvess has closed the gap.
I noticed that Tarzan was spamming horn the whole time. Because his car was.
I was like, wait, is he horn spamming?
That is what Kvess needed
right there. Oh my gosh,
there.
this is crazy. They're actually now exactly tied. The minigames are amazingly cruel.
Yeah. Because I thought that Tarzan's rocket to hit
Bumper there thought it would hit. I guess he might have, maybe Bumper crossed, like either he just barely missed it, or Bumper like crossed over where the rocket would have maybe hit. But I think he was farther away, so it just missed.
Now Tarzan has about only a 1.5 second lead going into Walrus Cove here, whereas it was like 30 seconds. But that can be what happens in the minigames here if something goes wrong with the CPUs. And in this case, Tarzan did, miss one of his shots, but he only missed it because he had an unlucky pattern that the CPUs didn't engage each other, so that he had to shoot an extra missile, and then that's what led to the mistake.
Yeah. And from there, you're kind of like, it's sometimes difficult to 100% in the moment know exactly how to regain,
the YOLO jump
composure in a race to do that. That was a nice hoppa jump.
Oh, the big jump. Big jump. And he doesn't bonk on the ice, but he bonks on the pole.
Yeah.
That was a really big one.
Yeah, I missed it other than just seeing him way high in the air before.
Depending on what time you boost and what kind of frame rate you get, you might skip over that middle thing and then clip on the ledge of the main section.
Both players bonked on the same time in different spots.
Cutscene skip for Tarzan, and no cutscene skip for Kvess.
Yeah, alright, heading into Everfrost Peak. We actually got to watch Tarzan play Walrus Cove this time. So that was a treat. That was a pretty nice Walrus Cove, besides the bonk at the end, if I'm being honest. Okay.
Oh, one for the fans.
Yeah, backflip for the fans. Oh, a little bit of inside movement, but he is able to still save his lap enough where he didn't bonk. He lost speed, but that is better than bonking if you make a mistake.
Oh my goodness.
My god. We're playing with all sorts of bonks. But we're gonna recover. Cutscene skip is through. Alright.
He does get it.
Tarzan
puts the pressure on Kvess to get this one.
Yep.
So you can stay less than 10 seconds behind.
Kvess also gets it. Alright. Both players will be moving into Hover Challenge. Alright. Let's see.
Who gets the better Hover Challenge?
Bonk right at the beginning for Tarzan. So probably Dreams of 109's a bit dashed. Probably can still get a 110. But he bonked right into the beginning wall. But we got this.
God, Tarzan's line always freaks me out at the lap transition. I always feel like whenever I take that line, I disqualify every time. That's why I always stay kind of left on the start of the next lap, just to make sure I'm grabbing the checkpoints on the left.
Yeah. 23
but
lap.
If you are fast enough, you can take these risky lines, and Kvess and Tarzan are probably two of the best hover players in the community, especially when it comes to just non-boosting hover gameplay. That's a 22.9 lap for Kvess.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Tarzan's gonna end up with a 111.
111.8.
A little bit of a wall bonk for Kvess. We love a good side bonk and hover. It looks like he's gonna get a 110.
110.
110.00. He gained almost 2 seconds there, just in hover challenge. All right, so we'll see. Now that we're in the later stages of the match and it's very close, I think Darkwater Beach is gonna be very intriguing.
Yeah, that might be the decider. Whoever gets the
Yeah.
cleaner one might be the one that runs away with it. But it does
Sure.
depend on the quit to menu, cutscene skip, and
does.
treasure caves just afterwards. That will play a massive role as well.
Absolutely. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is the most punishing of the misses in the quit to menu.
Yeah, the door is pretty far away, and hovercraft takes a while to build up
Ramp
speed.
up.
Takes about, a full second to like 1.2 seconds to
Yeah.
get your top speed going in hovercraft.
Ooh, a very clean Pirate Lagoon so far for Tarzan. Kvess is also looking pretty good. 16.
Always
lap.
going for the
Players was-
super lap transition.
He got the
Go,
super lap
Kvess.
transition, but he missed the final one. You're gonna also probably get similar results here. I think it was about a 52, probably about a 53, 53.08, but
misses
missed
it.
the cutscene skip. That could turn out a little bit crucial.
Yeah, Kvess is going to need Tarzan to have a really bad CPU pattern in Darkwater Beach to come back here.
Yeah.
Or have Tarzan miss a whole bunch of cutscene skips, or just, bonk everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for Kvess, but it's still not over. There's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah, like you mentioned, obviously the cutscene skips they can equal out a bit. Like if Kvess has a very nice fast Darkwater and Tarzan goes for camping and has a little bit of a struggling time, it could result in time catch up. And obviously you have the quit to menu in. You have the quit to menu. Oh man, a little bit of a rough end of that lap transition for Kvess.
Not the best jump in the water either.
No.
So what you want to do when you jump into the water is obviously you want to hold a lot of speed, but then you also want to push down on the joystick so you can pull the nose of your car up. That'll give you an increased amount of air time. Yeah. And then as you get into the air, you actually want to hold the A button, and that lets you throttle in the air and extend the length of your jump significantly. And you can cover I don't even know, 50% more distance. It's actually a very significant trick to do when you jump into the water.
Tarzan with the cutscene skip. So very nice. We're gonna now see him go to Whale Bay. Kvess is having a nice ending to his CI for sure. Gonna end up with a 120
with the cutscene skip. Nice.
One thing in this track in Whale Bay, what you just saw there with the on Tarzan's Creek with the whale hop, that takes a lot. It actually takes a little bit of time to develop, kind of your feeling for knowing when to jump, knowing kind of what type of movement to do when you're on the whale, make it so you can jump.
Yeah, you can kind of get zero framed out of it depending on how much speed and which part of the whale you kind of run into initially, because you kind of have to regain your stance on the ground in order to jump again, because you can't jump in the air. What I've found is that if you grind on either the left or right edge of the whale, you kind of get the jump guaranteed every time, but then you have to ride this tightrope to do it. And so it can be really risky to go for, but it is quite fast.
Gotcha. All right, Darkwater Beach for Tarzan.
He's going for camping right away.
Yep.
This could give Kvess a little bit of time save.
Yeah, but
the CPU shot him.
Yep.
And if you're wondering, yes, it is actually possible to lose this minigame. The CPUs can grab missiles and very cheatingly shoot you from long ways away with single rockets.
haven't seen that. I've never had that particularly happen to me. I mean, I've gotten down to like 2 life before just from the CPUs having like up close
Like right
missiles.
here as Pipsy approaches him, if he grabs the balloon, okay, right
Yeah.
away. Pretty good camping.
Pretty good camping. Yeah, Kvess also doing a decent job.
That shot will probably get blocked. It actually wasn't. That one might have locked on. No, it didn't.
So the previous one did lock onto Diddy. That he did there. And now it's just Conquer left. It looks like Diddy got shot at the same time by both Kvess and Pipsy.
Not bad, but
I don't know if it came out even or not. I don't know. Unfortunately I haven't been keeping exact track of the difference between them, but we'll see what the difference is here. And it looks like it's decently large for Tarzan's
maybe about
lead.
15 or 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Tarzan doesn't get this quit to menu and Kvess does, that could really close the gap.
It can, yeah.
And give Kvess a chance to take game 2.
Mm-hmm. Some beautiful movement.
And this boost chain that we do, we use a blue balloon after the zipper and jump all the way into the cave, land pretty much directly on top of that zipper in the cave.
Yeah.
Ideally, we like to go 3 for 3 on it, but it is quite precise, especially at these high speeds.
Mm-hmm.
You would kind of like to get it 2 for 3 at best, but sometimes you get it 3 for 3, sometimes you get it 1 for 3, sometimes you miss it all laps.
Yeah, and Tarzan, unfortunately, with an 0 for 3, but he does get the quit to menu. Kvess getting it on the last lap. Gets the quit to menu. Awesome.
So now, Kvess, in order to come back, he's going to need Tarzan to make some big mistakes here in Plane Challenge or disqualify.
Yeah, because unfortunately, there's not a large enough difference where Windmill Plains versus Greenwood Village can close a gap that's as large as this one. Unless it was Tarzan going for Windmill Plains and messing up.
Yeah, I don't think we have explained what we mean by disqualify yet either.
Oh,
so,
yes.
In these vehicle challenges, there is a intended mechanic where if you go too far away from the intended path, it will stop the race and tell you that you went too far off the path, and you have to go then talk to Taj again and start the race all over again. And that's really, really bad. Because, if it happens to Kvess right now, he's 40 seconds into the race. He'll have to go all the way back to Taj, start it up again. Yeah. That's like 50 seconds lost.
Yeah.
If it were to happen.
But you want to know what wasn't bad? Tarzan's 56 plane challenge. You know what also isn't bad? I think Kvess might be getting a 55 plane challenge.
Very good.
Wow, a 55 and a 56. 2 amazing plane challenges. 2 times I have never gotten with my life. I've never gotten. And so we go to Greenwood Village for Tarzan. Only a singular second was dropped. Maybe a little bit time. Obviously a little bit. I think a little bit of time was saved by Kvess in TC as well.
Yeah.
But it's still about a 12-second difference.
Seconds.
Yeah.
So the cutscene skip difference here, that would be cutting the gap in half. And additionally, how well you can do the key grab in Boulder Canyon is actually going to be really important right now, because you might, miss it. You might fall off the bridge. Mm-hmm. You might fall off the very top after trying to go for it. You could miss the bell a few times.
Yeah.
CPUs could get in your way. You could miss the balloons, so you can't even get up there.
Yeah, and in general, this track, you can definitely have some high variance on this track in times. Just with little bonds, like I noticed that Tarzan and Kvess, unfortunately, like for Kvess, both bonked in the same spot on lap 1. They both bonked at the S bend turn. That's right before the end of the race, right here where Tarzan is. Tarzan bonked on the front part, and Kvess bonked on the wall when he was right out to his left on the wall.
Tarzan misses the cutscene skip. Kvess can get this. He should be able to close the gap a little bit.
Yep, a little bit of a bonk, but does not change him missing or getting the cutscene skip.
Oh, those oil slicks!
Wow, the oil slicks.
And he dodges them and gets it.
So the gap is much closer now. This could come down to execution of Smoky Castle.
Yep, Smoky Castle doesn't have too much variance, but I would say, 7 seconds now.
Yeah, 7 seconds difference.
If Tarzan
Execution.
messes up the key grab, this could be really big.
Yeah, he has to be. Yeah. Oh, he
Oni
did.
does mess up. He
He
missed
does.
the bell.
Or he got it there. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be neck and neck. It's gonna come
Oh
down to
my God.
execution. It's gonna come down to execution on Smoky Castle.
Oh boy.
Movement, and execution. Let's see who does it better. Tarzan last time had an issue where he was like right at the end, and like I just hope this kind of
Yeah,
and I hope something
Tarzan.
like that doesn't cost him the race. I just hope that I want this to be super close because I
Yeah.
want both players to do well, but I understand
Oh,
that
boy.
that might mean we have to go to frame counts if that happens. Oh man,
This is
Smoky-
going to be entirely on movement. If you can avoid the CPU here at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, great movement from both players. They both get it. No CPU hit.
Tarzan keeps a bit more
Tarzan has a
speed.
little bit of a lead. Tarzan's gotten a lead. He got off the wall better.
But he's quite fast. He has to wait up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did have to wait.
There is
up.
a bit of a pace lock here on this stage in particular.
There is a pace lock, yes, indeed. But
Tarzan's
Tarzan
movement is a little bit cleaner so far.
Tarzan's just that little bit farther ahead. He's catching the bananas as they're spawning. Kvess is slightly behind that type of pace.
It'll all come down
Alright.
to this set of
And
bananas
he's
here.
completely stopped. He learned from his lesson last game. It looks like Tarzan is going to take the match. This is so close.
Wow.
It is a 47. I feel like that was close to a 47. 46 versus 48. Oh my goodness.
What a finish. But that is going to be Tarzan going 2-0 over Kvess to win in the quarterfinals to advance to the
Wow.
semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to
It is.
end the second game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit, dude.
My heart, dude.
I gave him every chance. I threw so many times. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But you got it. Welcome in, Tarzan.
Wow.
Very close. That last one came down to Smoky Castle execution. And you were just a little
It was only a
faster
20
off the
second
wall.
difference between the two races, but I really feel like this race felt like a 30. This race was so bad. Oh my god.
See if Kvess comes in for post-game commentary.
Mhm. Yep.
Hello, Kvess.
Hi, Kvess.
I'm so sorry, dude. I feel so bad. That
Yeah.
was so bad.
What a what a rush! Holy. Okay.
So let's talk about what just happened. You both, Tarzan had a weaker key grab, Kvess had a good key grab, and that put Tarzan maybe about a half second ahead going into Smoky Castle. So it all came down to movement on Smoky Castle. And you both had a good one, but Tarzan just had a slightly better one to take the win by just a second or two. So, incredible finish. Really good matchup. Really wasn't sure, who going into this, who had the advantage over who, because, Kvess, you being former time trial champion for 2 years, I knew you had the advantage on a lot of individual tracks. Do you think you had any really good tracks in this matchup here that you did?
No, that's a good question. I don't know if I feel like I don't know if any one of my races stood out very much. Maybe my last Treasure Caves weren't too bad, even though I missed 2 zippers. I had some. I feel like my dyno, the start of my dynos were pretty decent.
Yeah.
But then Fire Mountain happened, and yeah.
Yeah, both of your Fire Mountains,
Mountain-
your egg got stolen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm
That-
not good friends with
Unlucky.
Fire Mountain. Sadly, I've never
No.
been good friends with it. So
It's a really
yeah.
rough minigame. It can just punish you. Both races that you had about 25, 30 second, you're behind by about 25 or 30 seconds just getting out of Fire Mountain.
Yeah, it's pretty rough start like that.
But then, in game
Yeah.
two,
Let's talk
Icicle
about
Pyramid,
Yep.
Pyramid went really bad for Tarzan in game 2, and that brought you all the way back, Kvess.
I got unlucky, and one of the CPUs didn't get shot. So I
Yeah,
tried to
it
back it up and turn and shoot
He just
him.
kept running. He just kept
And-
running away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That could be tricky.
I was like, I had pretty much given up at that point, hopes of. I mean, you should never do that, but you get your mental is kind of low, and then I see you just struggle like hell with the Icicle Pyramid, and I was like, oh my god, we're actually almost tied here. I need to lock in here. I need to get the speed going here, and yeah, it kind of made me more nervous, and I think I don't think I played.
I'm
Super
sure
well.
my heart rate was like 140 going into Smoky Castles, so
Dude, same.
it was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It was such a good finish.
yeah. And then when I saw the like the ending here in game 2, it was I got really pumped. Like when you struggled a little bit with the key grab, I was like, okay, this is my shot. This is
It always happens too. I don't think I've ever had a single good key grab this entire tournament series.
yeah. I just went like I have to go all in here. I have to just ring the bell on the way over there, and then just like before I grab the balloon, just go for the fastest I can.
Yeah, he
Race
got
one,
about a
I got-
16-second key grab as opposed to Tarzan with a 22-second key grab. And then also Tarzan missing the cutscene skip and Kvess getting the cutscene skip. It was just
Yeah.
everything that could have happened for Kvess to get a shot at bringing it back for game 2.
Yeah, I mean my plane challenge on race 2 was pretty good, 55.
Yeah, yours was actually about 1 second faster than Tarzan as well.
Yeah,
I had a bad. I think I had a bad lap 1, and that's what led to a 56. I got stuck on like the top part. I got stuck somewhere. That's all I remember.
yeah. But I like the game 2 was definitely super fun to play. Game 1 was a little bit more frustrating for me. Because I was like I knew I was like super far behind, so it's like it's not that fun when you know you're like 1 minute apart and you feel like there's no way.
Race 1 overall, I felt like was a pretty quality run for my standards. Race 2, everything was just bad. Like, Dino was not particularly good, even though I got all the cutscene skips. Snow was not particularly strong. I had to, like, the races themselves were good, but I didn't get a lot of cutscene skips. Sherbet, I finally get a cutscene skip in Whale Bay and then throw it away in Darkwater Beach. Like,
What happened in Darkwater?
I missed like 3 different like missing the balloon itself, not like the shots, but missing the balloon itself.
Oh right.
I just go camp straight away. I don't do the actual strat.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I do like a half thing, like a hybrid. I go for like
Yeah.
the start of it, and then I camp the middle island. I just feel like it's a fun little, tweak I've done to the camping strat. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, especially in game 2. It was
I'm glad we kept it somewhat close. I didn't want to throw it away, but my god, I sure made it close.
I did. Like if I just you start thinking like, oh man, if I just played a little bit better on Greenwood Village there, I would have won. If I just did this and this, but you can't really think like that because
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Indeed.
I think it was also interesting that you all did Greenwood Village on both races. That you're both.
Oh, I was prepared to go for it if I had to.
Yeah. So were you like checking like Kvess's pace throughout the match?
Just I was listening into the audio of the stream. That was it.
Okay.
I wasn't screen peeking.
Oh, I was screen peeking.
Yeah, it can be. Screen peeking is a very useful tool sometimes, especially in a race, tournament setting. Like if you have to go for a strat, that you've got in your back pocket just to get an extra second or two, that's good to know. But it's also, on the other side of the coin, not paying attention, sticking to your strategy, no matter what goes on, just so you don't like trip yourself up is also a good strategy too.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I feel like I got really hung up on where Tarzan was all the time. Like I would keep looking there, and I got a little bit distracted from it. So maybe I should have just.
My stream is still up because I just put up a 57 from Mill Plains.
Yeah. Back in game 1, Tarzan's stream dropped out for like a minute or 2.
Oh yeah, Walrus Cove. Yep, I noticed that. I'm like, I can't really do anything about this while I'm racing.
Yeah.
Luckily, it fixed itself. But man, that Walrus Cove was actually kind of decent too.
Too bad we'll never know.
If he local recorded it.
Nope.
Dang.
Rip. Well, you definitely deserve to be in the next stage. So I have no, I don't have too many sad feelings about going, like saying goodbye here to the tourney. Or I'll be watching, of course, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you definitely put up a really
You
good
put
fight.
up a really good fight.
Yeah.
Especially that last race, it could have went either way.
Yeah, I hope someone keeps doing salt cure for the rest of the. Someone has to do a salt
Yeah.
cure before the tournament ends.
I could throw in one or two.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for them. I'm gonna look for it.
All right. Well, Mr. Ponytail,
Me.
now that you know your opponent,
Yep.
your opponent's sitting here. I
Hi,
wish both
Tarzan.
of you, I wish both of
Hello.
you the best of luck next round. But Tarzan has won, and Matt has won his race, and now we'll face Mr. Ponytail in the semifinals. Our other semifinals matchup is Dollar Ben versus Trident Tail. Both matches hopefully will happen soon, so we can get the other match done. We want to get these matches done in the next couple of days.
Scheduling,
Yeah.
Last I saw in scheduling, I think Ben and Trident were going to try to make it work Friday, maybe.
Oh,
right.
tomorrow.
Not entirely
Okay.
sure, maybe. But I
Yeah.
mean, all I got to say is shout out to the Canadian Postal Strike for Obio to never get his controller.
Yeah.
Like get my spot back in the tournament.
Yeah, specifically, yeah, for those curious as to why Abaya had to drop out, his controller stopped working properly, stopped working enough that he couldn't like do a match without, being able to play at his best ability. Ordered some new parts, and right as he ordered them, Canadian shipping strike for about a month. I think it's still going on.
Ongoing.
Yeah, so it's just a horrible timing for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, not his fault in any way, just really bad timing. But, yeah. Tarzan coming out of the grave because of that to win the wild card and then win the quarterfinals against Kvess, going all the way to the semifinals.
It's a very much an uphill battle from here.
Yeah. Good underdog story here.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of glad I'm not in your shoes right now, Tarzan. So yeah, good luck with
I
Ponytail.
know.
But man, I mean,
The top 8 of this tournament, just all excellent players, and I'm congratulating like everybody who made it out of brackets did a great job, or made it out of groups did a great job to get there. So yeah,
Thank you.
I think from here we're just gonna go and go and raid a channel. I'm not 100% sure.
We're raiding.
We're
Yeah, did we
raiding?
settle on
MR.
a raid target?
I thought we settled on MR, but
Looks like Matthias Rustemeyer, MK64 MR, not
Nice.
playing Mario Kart, doing a Portal playthrough casually.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're gonna go cheer him on. Make sure to check out the Discord, our DKR64 Races Discord. Stay updated on the next matches that we're gonna be scheduling here within the week,
Yeah.
hopefully. That way you don't miss any of it today. And now we're gonna go raid Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I look forward to our match, Ponytail. Hopefully, I can put up a fight at all.
I really
Uh,
hope that it comes down to the wire on every single match.
Yeah, it's fun when it's like this, you know, really close. That's it's like it definitely gets more interesting to watch.
I'm not taking
Yeah.
it for granted because I know it's not going to be close next time.
You never know. Anything could happen. I could just miss everything.
Yeah, that's the good and the bad part about this category, right? It's
Yeah.
you can be in great pace and then you miss the important cutscene skips, and there you are.
Yep.
Got to
All
play
right.
the plot armor card.
That'll be it for now. Bye bye for now.